Hello, welcome to Technical Analytics. Today we will learn about one of the better utility starting pitchers in the major leagues. Trevor Williams is now a starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals. He's currently 31 years old, Williams throws right-handed, and he has 8 years of MLB experience. Let me explain what I mean by utility starting pitcher. Trevor Williams hasn't been only used as a starting pitcher, he's been with 4 teams, and every team has had him come out of the bullpen. Many starting pitchers see this as a demotion, but Williams has embraced the role. I saw this firsthand during his most recent stint with my New York Mets. Williams has a career of 125 starts with 41 appearances out of the bullpen. This video will explore what kind of stuff does Trevor Williams have. The second part will be about his clutch performances coming in the later innings of games. Trevor Williams signed a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Washington Nationals through the 2024 season. I was personally a little sad to see that the Mets let him go. Williams was a very good for the Mets. He was a cleanup guy in a failed start for other pitchers. Williams' repertoire includes 6 pitches: fastball, slider, sinker, sweeper, curveball, and changeup. The 2 most used pitches are his fastball, sinker, and changeup. They are respectively at 46%, 18%, and 17% usage. When you dive into the run value data, looking at the last full season in 2022, you can see a -12 for his four-seam and a -3 for his sinker. The changeup has been somewhat ineffective at +5 run value. If we take these at face value, you can get a general idea about how Trevor pitches. Typically, when a pitcher is more effective with 1 or 2 pitches over the literal 4 others he has, this means that he's using those others to set up his fastball and sinker. For example, WOBA for his sinker, slider, and changeup are separated by 25 points. His sinker WOBA is 313, his slider is 338, and his changeup is 333. This doesn't tell the whole story. When you look at the slugging for each, the sinker is most effective with a 333 slugging, followed by the changeup at 385 slug, and the slider at 526. These numbers might not jump out at you. Let's be clear, Williams is a good pitcher, but he's not your Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole. If you want further clues as to why his four-seamer, changeup, and sinker are so good, you can have a look at the spin and movement charts. These charts show the type of movement and spin in any direction, plus the amount of movement and spin. Now that we are familiar with Trevor Williams' game, we can look at his inning splits, which show his ERA and all his stats by each inning. Right off the bat, pun intended, you can see that the first and second inning are 2 of his worst innings. Also from this full year with the New York Mets in 2022. The other random outlier is the 5th inning with an ERA over 6. It's actually not an outlier because in a regular starter role, it's very common for a starting pitcher to get tired and lose command in the 5th or 6th inning. That's obviously the point where he gets taken out of the game most often. This is what fascinated me about Trevor Williams, is that from the 3rd to 8th inning, he can give you a solid performance. Keep in mind that the 9th inning, he only pitched 3 innings so it's a small sample size. His 4th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings are very impressive. Trevor Williams recently pitched against his former team, the New York Mets, in this season of 2023. The Mets ended up winning, but Trevor pitched okay. He did allow 4 earned runs before coming out after the 5th inning. His final line was 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 runs allowed, 2 walks, 1 home run, and a 4.10 ERA. Not his best performance, but I want to look specifically at the home run given up to Brett Baty in that 4th inning. I also want to see that fastball, sinker, changeup in action. Brett Baty, the Mets' rookie third baseman, hit a home run to deep right center off Williams' curveball. As we saw in the run value charts, the curve isn't his best pitch. If you look closely, you can see that Williams meant to throw just out of the zone, but missed it and went up into the inside corner of the zone where Baty just went in and got it. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Daniel Vogelbach came up to bat. Williams strikes him out on a nice fastball. Unlike the ball to Baty, Williams didn't miss his spot and put it in the bottom corner zone away from Vogelbach, who strikes out looking. In that same inning, the bottom of the 4th, Williams got Mark Canha to swing and miss at his sinker. His sinker in this frame just cuts through the right bottom zone. This is a good visualization of how the pitch moves. Trevor Williams succeeds in the later innings of games. I would argue that his late innings stats are some of the best for a starting pitcher. It's impressive what he can do, especially when you consider many situations where he's coming in are not planned. I was sad that the Mets let him go for this reason, but I'm happy he's getting the chance to be a full-time starter in Washington. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow my blog with more content like this.